Welcome everybody to Latifs Inspired. Today I am going to be cooking Bombay Aloo. Potatoes, when you're having it in a restaurant, it's normally cubes of potatoes. Today I'm going to be using baby potatoes because I saw these really nice potatoes, nice sized, and it's going to be skin on. Not something that you would get in your normal Indian restaurant, but if you're doing it at home, it's going to be very nice. It's going to look nice and it's going to taste nice. Normally in my restaurant I use the red potato. It's nice and waxy, and it goes very nice when I cook the Bombay Aloo, aloo gobi, whichever. I'll show you what I do. First of all I'm going to boil it and then cook it. It's going to be really nice and simple and hopefully flavoursome and easy to follow as well. So Bombay Aloo today, guys. Thank you very much. Right, it's going to be simple spices, simple ingredients for this dish. Firstly, will be vegetable oil. I'm going to be using the punch phoron, which is the Bengali spice, fennel seeds, nigella seeds, mustard seeds, etc. You can buy it from any Indian cash and carry, Asian cash and carry shop. I'm using 3 Indian bay leaf. I'm using about 1.5 teaspoon of ginger paste. It looks a bit green. I know you make a bit of comment because when we make our paste we add a few different things, coriander stalks, etc. If you're doing it at home, just add plain ginger, it's fine. So that's about 1.5 teaspoon garlic, 1.5 teaspoon ginger. This is 1.5 medium onion, so it's about a cup and a half onion, half a small green pepper just for color and flavor, 3 green chilies just chopped up. I'm going to use about a teaspoon of salt. This is 2 medium tomatoes, so it's about 1.5 cups of tomatoes. And these are the spices, which are 1 heaped teaspoon of coriander powder, half a teaspoon of turmeric, half a teaspoon of chilli powder, half a teaspoon of cumin powder, and 1 teaspoon of your basic curry powder. Obviously I use my mixed powder here, but this is you can use just any branded spices. I recommend Eastern Spice. Now these are the lovely spuds, baby potatoes, and going to be finished off with a garnish of coriander and good old my favorite butter, anchor butter, for in the end, just to lift it. So these are the ingredients, guys. I'm going to crack on now. Right, guys, as you can see, the water's boiling away. I'm going to now add the potatoes, and it normally takes about 15 minutes to boil to get softened up. That goes in carefully. So the potatoes are boiling away over here. Give it about 15 minutes till it softens up. Put a lid on. There you go. And I'm going to start cracking on with the sauce. Bismillah. Let the water evaporate, or otherwise it's going to start spitting at me, which I do not appreciate. Right. So I've got about 4 tablespoons of oil over here. Let that heat up. Right, the oil has heated up. Right, I'm going to use the punch phoron spice. Now if you don't have this at home, just use a teaspoon of cumin seeds. It will be fine, but this is the proper stuff. So that was 1 teaspoon there. Right, I'm going to add the onions, the green peppers, and the green chilies. Right, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of salt. I need to soften up the onions before I move on to the next process. Right, I forgot to say I'm cooking this on a medium heat. So not a high, neither is it low. So on a medium heat. There I can see the outlines turning a bit golden, which is good. Spuds are boiling away, there you go. Right, the onions have been cooking away. It's about 10 minutes now. They softened up, but not all the way. It's all good. Add the ginger garlic. I'm going to put the flame high now, sort of medium high. That's nice and mixed. Now I just need the ginger garlic just to cook a bit so the rawness, that smell is gone. But it's just been a couple of minutes. The garlic has, look at it, it's caramelizing beautifully, nice and golden. Obviously I told you I've added a fair bit of oil in here so nothing sticks. If you want to use less oil, just use water. And use water is just to prevent it not burning and not sticking onto the pan. Right, the spices, which was, I used, that's coriander, 1 heaped teaspoon, half a teaspoon of turmeric, half a teaspoon of chili powder. Now, if you don't like too much chili, just use a pinch. Curry powder, 1 heaped teaspoon, and cumin, half a teaspoon. Now this is my mix, but if you want, just go and get a branded, East End brand is the best. There's Raja brand, there's all sorts, but the East End brand is one that I would recommend. East End curry powder, that is obviously Madras curry powder. Right, the spice has gone in there. Look at that. Gorgeous colour. Absolutely beautiful. Alright, gonna whack in the tomatoes. Obviously I put the spices in the oil just to liven it up because spices can get damp living in those packets for months or maybe years. Right, what I'm going to do now, put the gas a bit down to about medium again, and I want the tomatoes just to sort of release its liquid and become mushy. That's going to build a nice thick sauce. The duty of the tomato. It's been about 15 minutes and I'm going to check on the potatoes. Right, moment of truth. Yep. It's nice. I think that's ready. So I'm going to turn off the gas and let it sit there. Now the fragrance that's coming out of here is beautiful. It's gorgeous. I'm actually going to zoom into this to show you. Well, I'll bring it up here. Can you see this here? Beautiful colors, the spices, absolutely gorgeous. The tomatoes are softening up beautifully. I just need maybe about, I'm going to turn up the heat slightly more so it's nice medium heat. Just don't want it to stick or get that burnt kind of flavour or that smell. So being very careful. And the cooking process so far has been about 15-20 minutes. I've turned this off, so I timed it. That was about 15 minutes, and it's still in that hot water. So obviously, it's still going to hopefully just soften up the potatoes. And this has been about 12 to 15 minutes. So while this is boiling, you get this ready, whack this in, give it a few minutes, 5 minutes, whatever, until it's cooked, and then you can eat it. Now, if you like it nice and saucy, you can add a bit of water. You can add base gravy to this if you want. When you add the base gravy, it has a different taste. I want it to have its natural flavours of everything. So everything that I've added, gone into here, you've seen what I've added. And the oil is getting the flavour of all the spices and the vegetables. And then I'm just going to whack in those potatoes. This is 500 grams, by the way, of potatoes. That's going to go in here, and then it's going to hug and cuddle with all the spices, and then it's going to be beautiful. Good old coriander helped me. So, all the potatoes now coated in all the spices and the onions, and like I said again, if you want this to have a nice sauce, add a bit of water, or if you got base gravy at home, add a bit of base gravy, but I want to leave it like this, nice, authentic and beautiful style. Blimey, I've actually forgotten to put the bay leaf in. I should have added in this same time as the punch prawn. I'm going to add it in now anyway, it's fine. I'm going to put the lid on and a slow, sort of medium slow gas, and let it cook for about 5 minutes. And in the meantime, I'll just stir it in about a couple of minutes. It's been about a couple of minutes. Looks beautiful. Gorgeous. Look at that. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. Forget roast potatoes, you need to have Bombay potatoes like this. Right, at this point in time, make sure you taste the salt and the spices. For me, that's very nice. The salt is just about right. Spice level, obviously, people who like it hot, they can have it. Add more green chilies, add more chili powder, no problem whatsoever. For me, this is ideal. It's got a nice enough kick to it. It's not overpowering. And remember, this is a side dish, but it can easily be a main dish. It's no problem whatsoever. So for vegan lovers, veggies, this is a perfect ideal dish for you guys. Well, I'm happy with this. That's about 25 minutes cooking time, exactly from fresh, raw. Right, my favorite ingredient, because I'm a fatty. Right, I'm gonna add this butter. I would have measured, well, just cut it out and it would be easier for me, but I wanted to show it on the video, so it's softened up, obviously being near the heat. So that butter's gone in. That's my secret recipe. Obviously, mashed potatoes and butter, beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous, I promise you. If you're calorie counting, this is probably off the Richter scale. But I like being naughty. If you're good all the time, life's going to be boring. There you go. That butter's giving it a nice glaze, and it's going to be absolutely gorgeous. And I'm going to put it on a dish now. My Bombay Aloo. Bombay Aloo, guys, if you've enjoyed this, don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more videos, and thank you very much for tuning in. Latifs Inspired, make sure Facebook, Instagram, check me out, and make sure you subscribe, and see you soon for more tips and more videos.